Here's an old garage in Lakeland, Florida. Cinder block. The customer has given me permission to smash through the cinder block and get to them, as opposed to a trap out. So I'm about to start smashing through and getting right to them. It goes all the way from the top of the garage down to the very bottom. And I still don't know if there's any comb on the side chambers. It's possible, I just haven't investigated that far. And I found a couple of queen cells in here and cut them out. So I saved these queen cells before I chopped into them. So I can maybe put those to use at home if I can keep them alive until I get there. So I removed all the comb from this wall. I believe I have. I'm going to make sure there's no adjacent comb in some of these other chambers, but I don't think there is. And the bees, a lot of them are airborne because I smoked them. And I haven't used really too much honeybee gone yet. I don't want to be too drastic yet. It's not needed. So as you can see, they're flying around quite a bit. Look at that beautiful blue sky we had today. That's kind of rare. And see, the bees are orienting up here, and I know, look at the pitch to this roof. Oh my God, I know the beehive's gonna fall off on my head. But there's a pretty good grip on it, and I don't think there's gonna be a queen because I found all those queen cells. And look at all the drones. Just so many drones if I can get enough close-up of all this. They're attracted to my queen clip that a queen's been in previously. And I've sprayed Swarm Commander on here too from Scott Derrick. So they're kind of a little bit marching toward my hive right now and orienting to it. So I'm not the most experienced beekeeper in the world, but from what I understand, when I see a lot of queen cells that are capped and a lot of drones like this, then they've probably already swarmed. In fact, they said a week or two ago there was a swarm in a tree over there, and that may have been one of the swarms this hive threw off. So again, I don't expect to find a queen, unless it's a virgin queen that was just hatched. I don't think I saw any eggs. Also, I saw a little bit of a brood comb in here, but I didn't notice any eggs. So that is another telltale sign. This is probably going to be a queenless hive. I could be wrong, but I'm just pointing that direction. So I may go home and eat lunch, and I'll probably put the roof on this hive. By the way, I went ahead and strapped in those queen cells in there. That's the only comb I kept out of here because I saw some small hive beetles walking around, and I've learned a huge lesson not to keep a bunch of comb if there are small hive beetles walking around, especially excessively. They could have a lot of eggs laid in that comb that you don't see, and then in a day or two, your whole hive gets slimed. Because when you uproot their home, they can't control all that stuff. You know, they can kind of coexist with it as they had it in here. But if you uproot their comb and their whole immune system, so to speak, then those hive beetles can overtake their hive in just a day or two, given that opportunity. At least that's what I found. So it's best to just throw away most of the comb, or melt it down for wax or whatever. So I noticed some action down in all this dust and detritus, that fell to the ground, and Unfortunately, that's just what has to happen when you chop out a bunch of cinder block. And lo and behold, the queen was walking around down there. I got the queen, and that was a lucky shot, folks. I'm telling you right now, to look down there and all that dust and detritus, and to find the queen was pretty shocking to me. I'll take any break I can get, folks. I was not expecting a queen whatsoever in this removal, because of all the drones and all the queen cells. So I kept all those queen cells, of course, to use them at home in other hives, and or if this one was going to be queenless. So for right now, I have the queen right there on the top in that clip. Look at all this humanity orienting to this hive right now on this deep pitch roof, but I'm leaving it flat with the roof right now so they can march directly onto the hive instead of having to climb up a cinder block or whatnot. So it's gonna stay put for now. It'll be okay, and they can easily march into that front entrance too once I put the roof on. But I'm gonna strap in a thing of honey that's not dripping everywhere. You know, it's like an old piece of honeycomb that's solid. And then I'm going to strap the queen in and put the roof on. And lucked out on this one with the queen. That's all I got to say. So I already have one queen clipped and placed in there. So as you can see, there's a queen in that clip. They're not very faithful to her. Look at that. But look how faithful they are to this queen in this other clip. So I'm going to put this other queen in that clip. I mean, in the hive, the one that they're all piled onto. And I'm going to take this other queen home, and I think I can use her in a hive right now. I'm going to take her home for lunch, and I'll deal with her. I just don't see the need of putting 3 queens in one hive, but I am going to put that one in the hive right now. And it may be even questionable placing 2 queens in there, but it's not going to hurt anything except for, you know, them killing one of the queens, but I doubt that's going to happen. But I'm taking her home right now, and I'll be back for this hive later. But I'm going to put her, I'm going to strap her into this frame right here and place her in that hive along with the other queen. And look at that attraction. We'll be good. Seriously, folks, look at these bees all over me. And they have the queens in this hive to go to also. But there's a small hive beetle. Kill it. So look at this. The swarm commander in my pocket. Just saying. And I go walk to the van, you know, I'll knock them off to go to my van to get something, and they all follow me over there. But just saying, folks, you know, I'm not here. Scott Derrick sure does not pay me to advertise his product, but you know, and I always keep lemongrass in my pocket too, but I never get this kind of response with just lemongrass. I'm being honest. This is crazy. Look at this, I'm all flying around me. So I'm getting the hive ready to go for when I pick it up tonight. I got another strap to put on. I'm going to jump up and give these guys a brisk shake and go take this queen right here home to put in a hive that could use her. Look how lonely she is. No pheromone activity with that queen. Lonely gal. If only she was like me. She's jealous of my pheromone activity right here. Look at that. Quit hating. Quit playa-hating. So I went ahead and got this hive off the roof and put it down here. They'll be able to orient just fine to it a few feet lower, and it'll be easier for me to work with and less dangerous. You know, the whole bit. So There's still a few up there orienting right to the tip, but I'll take care of that with either smoke or a couple of spritzes of Honeybee gone. But I have 2 queens in this hive right now, and they're a couple of bars apart from each other. And I have this other queen. I caught, like I said, 3 queens so far. They aren't too faithful to this one, but however, she may be unmated. She may be a virgin, although she looks a little big, but she's technically probably still a virgin. Not too much hormone action going, or pheromone action. So I'm going to take her home, and I have a small pocket swarm top bar hive that I may give her to them. So those stragglers, well, it wasn't stragglers, it was just a bunch of them that were still left on that roof corner, and in some of them were probably still in the crevice a little bit. But I need a new label, but I sprayed Honeybee gone on that roof, just so I won't come back this evening and find a big surprise of bees up there still hanging out and have to have them orient to my hive late at night, you know, right at dark. That's just no fun. So I wanted them airborne right now, and then they'll have no choice but to come here. I sprayed a little bit on my pocket too, just to keep them off me. But I gotta go home and eat lunch and do some other calls too, so they're all gonna orient to this hive, especially with the 2 queens I have in there, and one you guys saw with all the bees crowded on her. This is fun. Bees and blue sky. Okay, I came back just before sundown, and there's still some bees airborne, of course, as expected. And there were a lot of them bearding on the front, and I kind of smoked them up in the air. And I also treated this area with Honeybee gone more, so they won't be tempted to land up there and cluster. It'll keep them off the original area. Their original entrance to the hive. So it's just a waiting game until nightfall, and they orient to this hive fully, and I coax them along with smoke if need be. You know, any stragglers that are on the outside. And soon here I'm going to put on the roof. I know there's debate on how soon or at what point you put the roof on. But since there are so many that are still airborne, my reasoning is that they can smell the queen and all the other ones in here fanning better if the roof is off for a little while anyway. I've had the roof on all day until I just got here, and I'm just wanting these to land and go in here at nightfall. But soon I will put the lid on. Okay, so it's nightfall, the bees are all in. I'm about to turn the wheel and load these girls up and go home. Alright, get in. There we go. I may need to tighten that screw a little bit. There we go. And the wall in here, completely clear of bees. See all that comb, the trails went all the way down to the ground. There we go. Okay, I'm going to open the entrance to this hive from the garage I smashed open yesterday. They're probably not going to come out a whole lot because it's kind of chilly this morning. look at that. They are... Well, this may not make the film. Okay, now they're awake.